start page 163. Okay. They capered about and jostled each other and laughed as aloud as Caddie had never heard them do before. "Now you can go home," said Caddie, giving each of them a friendly pat, "and have a good time, and mind you remember to have clean noses and tidy hair on Monday when you come to school." Dazed with their good fortune, they tumbled out of the store, whooping with joy and entirely forgetting, if they ever knew, that thanks were in order. Caddie and the storekeeper watched them race away, the red handkerchiefs flapping joyously in the breeze. "Well, young lady," said Mr. Adams, with an amused twinkle in his eye, "now your dollar's gone, and you didn't get a thing out of it for yourself." "Oh, yes, I did, Mr. Adams," she cried, and then she stopped. It was no use trying to tell a grown-up. It was hard even to explain to herself, and yet she'd had her dollar's worth. She found more words for it later, when Tom, feeling himself for once the thrifty one, protested. "But, Caddie, you needn't have spent your whole dollar. You could have got them each a top or a horse-hound stick and kept the rest for yourself." "No, Tom, it had to be all of it. I wanted to drive that awful lonesome look out of their eyes, and it did, Tom, it did." Fold that roll, Chapter 15. On Saturday afternoon, Mrs. Woodlawn looked out of the window and cried, "Great sakes, whatever has happened? Don't tell me there's another massacre scare." Clara ran to the window and looked out too. A whole procession of children was straggling up the road and into the farmyard. Clara began to laugh. "Oh, Mother," she said, "it's only the scalp belt. Caddie and Tom are exhibiting it this afternoon." Indeed, Tom and Caddie were busy at that very moment, taking admissions at the barn door. Inside the barn, Warren and Hetty were seating the guests on the boughs and boxes or old wagon seats and trying to maintain order. Little Minnie stood at one side with her finger in her mouth, too overwhelmed to speak. It was an important occasion. Fastened up against the harness rack was a box with calico curtains strung across it. Here was a show, and all eyes fixed themselves upon it. A sign in straggling letters on a piece of board assured the audience that these were the favorite scalps of Bloody Tomahawk. At last, after the audience had begun to shuffle its feet and utter impatient meows, the Tom head came forward with the fine assurance of an old showman. "Ladies and gents," he said, "you are now about to see one of the 7 wonders of Dohnavur. I don't know what the other 6 are, but anyway, I guess you'll agree that this is the best of the lot. Curtain, please. Light, please." Hetty and Warren struggled with the complicated strings of the small curtain. Caddie held up a candle stub of one of Mother's precious sulphur matches. There was a scratch, a spurt of blue flame, a strong odor of sulphur, and then the interior of the box was flooded with candlelight. The audience pressed forward to gaze in awe at the 3 tails of the black hair which had once adorned the heads of the 3 unfortunate savages. The one and only, intoned Tom, was now in his element, the favorite and best scalp belt of that ferocious chief, Bloody Tomahawk. He scalped Indians, he slew 1,000 buffalo, he burned down white men's houses and barns. "Faith, Tom Woodlawn, and you'll do the same," cried an indignant voice. "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Do you not know better than to light a candle in your father's barn?" Robert Ireton stood in the barn door, his good-natured face as stormy as a thundercloud. Caddie hastened to snuff the candle. "Robert, oh, Robert," she said, "we've done no harm. We're only having a show. Look, I've put out the candle, and the barn's not burned down either. Please, Robert, get your banjo and sing us a song. It will be a part of the show." "Robert, please do," begged all the children, for Robert's fame as a musician had gone all through the neighborhood. Robert never had to be coaxed to sing. A smile broke through the clouds of disapproval on his face. In a moment he had fetched his banjo and seated himself in their midst. There was another moment of delightful suspense as he turned the instrument and twanged a few preliminary chords. "Sing Patty's lighted leather breeches," cried Tom, who was glad to give up the center of the stage when the next performer was Robert. Okay, that ends on 163.